are the outcome or the fruits of our ideas, then our ideas must determine the conditions in our daily lives. Isn't that brilliant? So our ideas are determined by what we're doing. Okay. So let's look at this. Creative powers. Everything is made twice. If you think of an invention, and it's easier to do this way, but if you think of an invention, you have something that's controlled in your mind, and then, or you have the idea in your mind, and then you have it in reality, right? So we see that invention twice, first in the mind and then reality. It's the same way with you. If you're creating an idea in your mind, you get that idea in your mind, and then it becomes reality. So everything is done twice, first in the mind and then in your reality. Therefore, the same goes for what you want. You create it first in your mind and then in your reality. So anything that you want in life, let's say you want a new house, you create that idea of the house first in your mind and then in your reality. So every idea is simply a mental picture. It produces its own kind. And whether that picture is good or bad, that's the law. Listen again, every idea is simply a mental picture, and it produces its own kind. Whether that picture is good or bad, that's the law. So the law does not question or challenge the picture. You just take what is offered. Is that what you do? You just take what is offered? See, the law does not question or challenge the picture. The law doesn't know what you're telling it. So if you're telling it something bad over and over again, it's going to give you that result. So let's look at bank accounts. A lot of my clients want to double or triple their income in a year. And as long as they're picturing that doubling of the money, it happens. But if they start to look at their bank account and they start to focus on what they do not have, then they don't get what they want. Simple as that. You see, the law doesn't question or challenge the picture. The picture is an empty bank account. The law doesn't question or challenge it. It gives you what you want. So if that's what you are picturing, then that's what you get. So you take what is offered or planted and you proceed. Take what is offered. What do you want? What is your mind telling you? And then plant that idea and go forth. If you build the picture of what you can't do, that's what you're going to get. So build the picture of what you do want, not what you don't want. Build the picture of what you do want. Okay, so whatever you ask for, you have. So let's look at your life right now. What you have right now, you have caused to happen in your life. Sometimes that is a tough thing for people to understand. They say, but I didn't want this bad thing to happen. What was your thinking? You see, we create our own reality. So if we create our own reality, if we believe we create our own reality, then if it's something we don't want, we've also created that. So we have to really look at that situation. So what you need to do is to build the picture of what you do want and plant that. So today is a great day to start reflecting on your results, because your results never lie. The results always tell the truth of what your thinking is. So start to look at areas in your life that are not the way you want them. And as you look at those areas that are not the way you want them, then it's time to say, okay, so what is it that I wanted? If this isn't what I wanted, what is it? And start to build the picture of what you really want. You see, regardless of the results you've had, you have no one to congratulate or to blame but you. So all the good that's happened to you in your life, congratulations, you caused that. And all the bad that's happened in your life, congratulations, you caused that. And now that you're aware of that, what are you going to do about it? Look at the things that can help you. See everything that you've attracted in your life, whether it's good health, whether it's, your significant other, you've attracted that. In fact, there's even some people that say that you, as that spirit, as that perfect DNA, you were attracted to your parents. That spirit is out there, and that spirit was attracted one way or the other. So if you have negative ideas, you cannot have a positive result if you're thinking negative ideas. When you're having a bad day, a lot of times it just keeps spiraling out of control. And one bad thing leads to another bad thing, and another bad thing, and another bad thing. And before you know it, you just feel like your day's been ruined. See, but when you're aware that one bad thing happening does not have to ruin the next thing, then you can stop it. But that's up to you. So let me just share this story. There was a professional baseball player. His name is Jim Sundberg, and he played for the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. He was a catcher. And he was talking in a prison one day. And he was telling the prisoners what his life was like growing up. And he said he and his dad would go out in the backyard and they'd throw catch. And he said one time he threw the ball over his dad's head, and he thought his dad would be upset with him. And his dad simply said to him, "Son, anyone who can throw a ball like that is going to play in the major league someday." So he said another time they went out and they were having batting practice, and he swung the bat, but he missed the ball. And he thought his dad would be disappointed and upset. And his dad looked and said, "Son, anybody can swing a bat like that is going to play in the major league someday." So another time he was out with batting practice, and he hit the ball and it went right through the window of the next door neighbors. And he thought he was really going to get in trouble this time. But his dad looked at him and said, "You guessed it, son, anybody can hit a ball like that's going to play in the major leagues someday." So he said when he grew up, there was really nothing left for him to do but to play in the major leagues. Expectation. Repetition of thought over and over. Repetition, playing in a major league, playing in major leagues. And he did the actions, right? So all that consumed his mind was thinking of being a major league baseball player. And what could he do? And he took the action to do it. He didn't just sit there and think, someday I'll play in major leagues. No, he was out there practicing and doing the things he needed to do in order to be a major league baseball player. Well, after he was finished talking, one of the inmates in the prison came up to him. He was shackled and his arms and legs were shackled. And he said, "Mr. Sundberg," he said, "I had a dad sort of like yours. He told me I was no good. I'd never amount to anything. And someday I'd probably end up in prison." He said, "I guess I fulfilled his dream for me too." What a sad story, isn't it? But it is the expectation. You see, he probably heard that over and over again. "You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. You can't do anything right. You're going to end up in prison." And those are the things that went into his subconscious mind. And so because he believed that, and that's the vision he had, that's what happened. You see, when he was born, his spiritual DNA was perfect. But he was conditioned and he was programmed. So whether you know it or not, the ideas and the mental pictures give an inner power the ability to produce. So the mental pictures you hold in your mind allow this inner power, this universal power, because all our subconscious minds are connected together to the universal power. So all that allows our minds to produce it. So as I said, there's all these thoughts going around in our minds. What is your mind giving you? What thoughts is it giving you? You see, we're here to enlarge our lives, to become more than we ever thought we could be. We are here for abundance. God placed us here to have an abundant life, not to struggle. Struggle is what we've conditioned ourselves to do. So the universal mind is for good. When things aren't going well, that's not the intent of the universal mind. That is, again, our conditioning. So all failures, all bad things that happen are due to taking sides with the finite. All successes, all good things that happen are for taking sides with the law within us and connecting with that universal power. But the only way that you can significantly change your life is to understand this. And the only way to understand it is through study. That's why if you come to this show, you're going to get this information. That's why you need to find a mentor, a coach. That's the benefit when my clients come to work with me, because they're getting this knowledge and they're getting it quicker than I got it, because I was studying a lot on my own. But I can help them to build those mental pictures, to develop the clarity that they need. And that's what I can do for you too. You see, you must create from within you. It comes from within, not from without. And you must plant and nurture what it is that you want. Just like you plant a seed in the soil, you're planting a seed in your mind of the good that you desire. And then you have to nurture it. You can't just plant it once and forget it. What would happen to a seed that you put in soil if you plant it and then do nothing? You never tend to it, you don't water it, you don't even, necessarily put it in light. That's what you have to do. You have to keep nurturing that idea and keep building on it. And as you build on it, you see, this is sometimes people say they can't do something because they don't know how. You don't have to know the how. You see, when you're given a brilliant idea of something that you want to do and something you'd like to do, and you keep thinking about it, you keep nurturing that idea, you keep giving it sunlight and watering it and giving it fertilizer and so on. You do that to that idea. What happens is the universe starts giving you the how. It starts sending you the people and the resources that you need. And it happens every single time because that's the law. So when you attract things, you're really thinking outside of your box. But the one thing that we do know is this thinking has to be taught. Now, I would encourage you to contact me and to book an appointment, and then we can discuss what it is that you want in life so that you can figure out and you can build the idea that you have, and you can build it and nurture it. And as you do that, your life is just going to continue to be more and more abundant. So book that meeting with me, and I'll see you as you become the magic in your dreams, because you will become the magic when you start to build the image of exactly what you want and you allow it to happen in your life. So my name is Patricia Stepler. My business is Your Dream Power. And I thank you for coming to the show, Your Inside Power, where you learn how to attract exactly what you want in your life.